And the way I coach is meeting people where they are. Does this work for them? Does it not? Because sometimes clients will be like, well, I want to go back to this. It did not work. You did not stay consistent. We need another approach.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you just got to be straight up real with them. Lying to clients, or I won't say coddle, but like be empathetic and, and understanding. Don't be a jerk, but also like keep it real.
Welcome to the Beyond the Barbell Podcast. I'm your host, Jason Lassic, and today I have a special guest. I have owner of Kut the Slack Coaching and reigning PLU National Champion, Tracy Murphy. How's it going?
Good. Thanks for having me.
How's the drive? Not bad.
Drive wasn't bad, minus the cops, but they didn't bother me.
So before I get into where you're at today and your clients, your coaching, nutrition, I really want to get into everything that got you to where you are today and before. So like you've posted that pictures of you in the Lowe's thing like multiple times. I want to know like what your life was up to that point and how fitness kind of came into it.
Oh, really was digging back
I
into
was
my
digging.
Lowe's days.
I was digging.
So, yeah, I was with Lowe's for a while. 7 years.
Did you go to college after high school?
Nope.
Okay.
I went straight into the workforce.
Straight to Lowe's.
Yep.
Okay.
Went straight into working. I didn't even, to be honest, I didn't even understand how to use vacation time and stuff. I was just like, oh, I'm working. I got my own money and I
Right.
can get out of my parents' house. But,
Mm-hmm. Warren Central, North Central?
no, I went to Perry Township, Perry Meridian.
Okay. Where's
Yeah.
that?
Greenwood-ish.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Greenwood, but yeah, I went to Perry Meridian middle school and high school.
Sports?
Some track and field, but
Were you on
I-
the team?
a little bit of conditioning and stuff after, and then I was doing a lot of after school conditioning and stuff.
Yeah.
But I wanted to dabble in basketball. A high school friend of mine, she moved, and that's how I was learning.
Mm-hmm.
She moved to like Richmond, Indiana, and then I haven't heard from her since.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So was fitness on your mind at all? Like
Yes.
nutrition, it was, you were thinking about it kind of?
yeah. So all of it, honestly, like my dad was in sports, my mom. They work like I saw them work out. Like I used to go to the gym with my dad when I was a kid, and he was a cop, so he would play basketball and stuff. We did a lot of active stuff with my dad, bike riding, hikes, a lot. My mom would go off about him taking us on long bike rides
Yeah.
because we were like really young, and it'd be like midnight. She's like, "What are you doing?"
Mm-hmm.
My mom did a lot of exercising at home. So I'm going back before even that. So my mom would exercise at home. She would do like step aerobics and stuff. I'm like, okay, I want to do this too.
Right.
Then it got to the point where I would do like exercise videos. Like I loved aerobic boxing and stuff like that. So I would do that, and then
Like throw it on YouTube and like copy it?
yeah, like
Okay.
Tybo, there was Stephanie Steele, Kathy Friedrich, like those are some of my favorites.
Yeah.
And then Kathy Friedrich is what like had my wheels turning about like more strength training stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So she had a barbell on her back. I thought it was badass. So
Yeah. Was she had like a 20, 30-pound barbell while she was
Yeah.
doing the HIIT workouts, I assume?
yeah, she had different versions. Like each day would be something different. So it might be yoga.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's like power this, or yeah. Or she would like mix in the weights and then like aerobic boxing and something
Mhm.
like that. So it made me feel really empowering. I was like, look, these women are doing some badass stuff. So
Yeah.
I wanna be in the setting one day, and I don't know how I got to Lowe's before I got there, but
Mhm.
but yeah.
So all right, let's start there then. You get a job. Are you going to work, working out during that whole time, or
I half-assed it. I was not consistent. I was that
fasted?
person half-assed it.
Oh, okay. I thought you said fasted.
No. I half-assed it. So what I mean by that is I was that typical gym person. Like I was told that you could eat whatever you want, and then you could work out. You can have the body you want. I was like,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, that's what I was told, and I believed it because my mama kind of told me that.
It's so crazy how like that is more popular now than it has ever been.
Yes.
All right, we'll get into that later. Let's keep
Yes, because
let's
I'm
keep
sure we'll
moving.
get into a lot of things. But so I was working at Lowe's. I was eating out a lot. Like I was not cooking a lot at home. Like, and then I would go to the gym. I didn't really know what I was doing. I'd see something maybe on social media, not even social media. Like I'd look something up online,
Right.
or I would see somebody doing something in the gym. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I'll do this, or I can do all these ab workouts, or it'd be like cardio and abs, or legs and abs and cardio. Like it was so trash.
That's the most popular workout for like, I feel like for women that have just started. They
Yeah.
just legs and abs, cardio and abs. It's the same as the guy who comes in and hits the biceps and then chest and
Yes.
leaves.
Yes. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then as soon as I'm done with that, guess where I go? McDonald's. So it was just a vicious cycle. Um,
How'd you get to a barbell?
so I did touch barbells in high school. My first coach was, well, actually I had two coaches, Coach Carpenter and Coach Tomey. But Coach Tomey is the one that took me to that next level.
Your school strength coach or your personal
My
coach?
strength coach, yeah, in
Okay.
high school
Okay.
at Perry. I worked with him for a couple years. He coached my brother as well. So he calls my brother a knucklehead, but everybody still loves and has respect for Coach Tomey.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's who introduced me to a squat, a clean. I don't do those anymore. Bench press, deadlift, like that's like I was on the board for high school at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't aware of the competitive side of powerlifting until yeah, until I was pushing my 30s. So
So you squat, bench, and deadlift before you knew it was a sport. It's
yes,
the same with me. Same thing with me.
yes,
I don't know what guided me to it, but I would just squat, bench, and deadlift. I had no idea it was a sport. I had no idea people were competing. The first time I found about it was Taylor Atwood. So I literally had no clue either. So how'd that bring you to uh com- to Melissa? Did you start working with her before your first meet, or
no, I didn't.
let's start Vasa?
There's a little bit before Vasa too. So if we backtrack before I went to Vasa, how I even became a personal trainer. So I started going to the gym, getting consistent. I went through a breakup. That was 2015, and there was a lot of self reflection. Um, and I'm like, I don't like the way I look. I remember, I'm being completely transparent right now. I remember after this breakup, looking in the mirror, crying. It was like, I'm fat. I don't like the way I look. Like, I don't like the way I feel. Like, I was overweight for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, well, nothing changes and nothing changes. I knew from when I was going into the gym and consistently, there was a trainer there that I wanted to work with. Her name is Britton Foster. So I went in, I'm like, nope, I want to get a trainer. They were like, well, she's on maternity leave. I'm like, well, great. So I'm like rolling my eyes, but whatever. So then I worked with a trainer named CJ, and he was there for a hot second, and then he left. Then I worked with Travis Inman, and that's who really tested my limits and pushed me really hard.
At what gym?
Get Fit Athletic Club. It's on
Okay.
the east side of Indianapolis.
Okay.
So yeah, and after Britain came back, because at first I was going to quit. I was like, well, CJ's leaving. That means, I'm signed into a contract at the time. So I'm like, all right, well,
Not corporate gyms.
no, not at all. I was like, and then of course it's stuff. Well, you pay for a service, not a trainer type thing. I was like, all right. Now at the time, the guy that messaged me was a little sassy. So if anybody knows me, knows I don't do well with that. It was a lot worse back then, but a lot better now. But I went in to see him directly. I was like, yeah, I'm the person that you were emailing and blah, blah, blah. And I didn't appreciate, how you were talking to me. He
Yeah.
wasn't used to that. Big guy. I was like this tall or yay high, but it's whatever. But I did, that's how I ended up with Travis Inman. Love Travis. We're still friends to this day. Um, but that's who like pushed me, started recording me going live and stuff. And it actually helped
What type of
boost my
training
confidence.
was he incorporating? Were you guys doing?
A little bit of everything. Like, it was a lot of strength for sure. Strength and conditioning. I also like to call him like that man creates things like on the spot. I'm like, where did you even pull this workout from?
I
Where
respect that as someone as because I personally trained for a little bit. I respect that because that's harder than you think.
it is. It is. Like he had me doing some stuff. He's like, well, I know you can do it, so it's fine. I'm like, All right, Travis. All right. Um, but fast forward, before I even got into powerlifting, I did bodybuilding first.
Yeah, I saw that.
I did bodybuilding first. And I was like, well, I thought about powerlifting. I'm like, I don't know. I was around a lot of bodybuilders and everything at the time. And two of my friends, Britton and Chris Foster, Britton's actually how I became a personal trainer. The guy that I kind of went and had to have like a conversation with was actually the same guy that hired me.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
imagine that.
that's
Yeah.
the same.
The same person that gave him a little sass is the same person he ended up hiring.
He hired you to train him?
No, he hired me as a personal trainer
Oh,
because
okay,
he
at
was
the
over the
gym.
personal training department at the
Oh,
time.
okay.
And Britton was like, nope, she'd be a great fit. So that's how I became a personal trainer. But then while I was in,
How
in
did that
the,
go? Your first experience personal training? Were
it was
you
different. It was
were
a,
you giving clients off the bat, or did you have to gain them? How'd that go?
so once I told them that I was going full time because I was still working at Lowe's full time and personal training part time.
Mm-hmm.
But I was hating Lowe's. Like I was in a call center job. So that's where a lot of my weight gain came from as well. Um, because we're sitting a lot. But I was still making it. I was being intentional, especially after like my breakup and stuff, to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Um, but they're like, if you go full time, we're gonna load you up. And sure enough, I was like, you know what? This is me walking out on faith, faith not sight. So I put in my 2 weeks notice. They threw me a party at Lowe's, and I could always go back if I wanted to. No
They
big
must have
deal.
loved you at Lowe's.
They did. I I'm I build a lot of good relationships, and there's still people I'm still friends with to this day from Lowe's. So
Mm-hmm.
very grateful for that. And they'll even refer people to me or something like that, or they'll ask me questions because they know I'm a resource for them. Like, and I'm glad that I'm able to do that for them.
Yeah.
Um, so soon as I quit Lowe's, I would say a good 2 to 3 weeks in, Britton and Chris, they made sure I had a full client load. I cannot just say Chris and Britton because one of my other besties, Sable Smith, she was in the personal training department. So she was she was doing sales as well. I believe I think her title was assistant training personal training director or something like that. But yeah, they made sure I was fully loaded with clients. The only thing that sucked, because I was walking away from a lot of comfort from Lowe's, there was insurance. You know what I'm saying? All the benefits. There's
Yeah.
insurance. There's all that fun stuff. I was getting paid more, so I definitely took a huge pay cut. Um, because starting out, our session rates were $8 a session.
Yeah. Were you getting any base pay? No base pay at all. Just purely hustle.
Purely
That's.
hustle, and I worked split shifts every day of my personal training career up until I got into leadership,
Mm-hmm.
which was a few years into like after I started at Vasa. Every day, like from where I was at Giffen from 2015 to 2019, and then went 2019 to 2023 with Vasa. I worked
What's the
split
key to?
shifts.
Because you make it seem so easy. What's the key to building a successful, happy client base? Because you say that, oh, you just got a full client workload, but it's not anyone is capable of that. So how are you able to bring? Because I see on your old Instagram, you have groups of people, you're running classes, you're doing one-on-ones. How are you able to be successful and kind of branch that to where you are today?
So it was not easy, and it probably sounds easy, but it was not. Like there were clients that made me hate personal training, that made me think about quitting several times. Like I remember one day we were in, this was when I was at Get Fit, and me, Travis, Sable, like all my friends were like, all the other trainers were like on break, and my clients coming in, and she's like, I just hate being here. Like I don't want to be here. Everything hurts. I'm just like, she was like in her 50s. She had a gluten intolerance. Every weekend, she would eat gluten and then come in and she's like in all this pain, but she hated the whole process of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's odd because she was a referral from another client of mine, and they were the complete opposite. Like the other client was hardworking, like stellar client, and then like, how are y'all friends? Like,
Right.
cause she is not like this, and so she eventually like stopped coming there. I was like, well, what is it that I can do to help you enjoy this
Mm-hmm.
process? And sometimes you just can't make people happy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, is there just some people that like they say that you can lead a horse to water?
But you can't make them drink it. Exactly. And when I first started personal training, one of my biggest fears was losing clients and a client complaint. Britain was like, you're gonna have to get
Get
over
used
that.
to it.
Yeah. It's like, it may not be anything with you. It could be, but sometimes everybody isn't a good fit. There were some people that left me because they didn't feel like I pushed them enough.
Yeah.
And then once I pushed them enough, I pushed them too much. I was like, you can't make them happy. So there's definitely like a fine line. And like now I'm to the point in my career where it's like, if something don't mesh, I'm not dealing with it. I and I say this so respectfully, but I will fire a client with the quickness if you're disrespectful and we're wasting each other's time.
Yeah.
I had to do that recently, earlier this year,
Hmm.
where I had to fire a client.
Yeah. Okay, so bodybuilding, how was that first show? Dieting down, getting stage lean for the first time, because you had just went to a point where you were just trying to lose weight and get healthy.
Yeah,
Now you're getting stage lean. How
yeah.
how did you get there?
I prepped for 9 months, so that was a long time for my first one, I feel like. But I am grateful for the experience, but I let my bestie Sable have the bodybuilding world.
Yeah.
We tell each other the same thing all the time. She's like, "You can have powerlifting," because she don't mess with the. She's like, "No, you have powerlifting," and I was like, "Yes, and you can take bodybuilding." But she was actually my inspiration for doing bodybuilding.
Hmm.
She did bodybuilding in April 2017, and then I did it Veterans Day 2017, so in the fall.
Hmm.
Um, Bodybuilding teaches you a lot about yourself. It's a lot of discipline. Everything is just you. It's you versus you. Um, the things that I think were probably the most annoying, and I feel like those in a bodybuilding world would say the same, is the obnoxious comments about your eating.
Hmm.
Oh, what are you eating? A salad
Yeah.
or chicken broccoli? I'm like,
It's so interesting how people. So a lot of times, people who don't work out give you, and you'll get this if you work out, like little slights. Oh, you going to the gym, or you got
yeah,
muscle, or you eating chicken again, or I'm like, okay, what are you eating? Yeah.
McDonald's. I was like, oh, all right. But bodybuilding was great. I did My dieting was very different because I had to really dig to lose body fat. Like dig.
Yeah.
Excuse me. There was some days where like I think we had 2 days or like on rest days where I was on like I want to say like 700 calories.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're 5 feet even. So what is your deficit? Because mine is like 1900, 2000.
I found some old ones and it was like 17, 16. Like, and at the time, like my coach was Chris Foster. That's who coached me through technically my bodybuilding when I first did that. And he coached me through my first several powerlifting meets. And then
Hmm.
he moved to Utah.
Yeah.
Um, but um, yeah, we pushed. And he was big on like because he coached himself through bodybuilding as well. Very similar to like Cliff Wilson.
Hmm.
Do you know who Cliff Wilson is? He's like big in the bodybuilding world. He coaches Stable now,
Okay.
but um, yeah, he studied a lot of him and different things that he had to deal with athletes, like how he had to coach like his black athletes versus everybody else because genetically we want to hold on to things for survival, whatever else. So we had to make me dig.
Hmm.
I'm like, why ain't I leaning out as fast as Sable? Like, dang, her genetics is crazy. Mine's is like I would lean out, but like my body fat was just so stubborn.
Yeah.
But there were also times where I did binge. Like there was one time I ate a whole pack of peanut butter pie
Hmm.
Oreos, and
Do
I
you
had to
binge
go
on
into.
healthy food too? Like when you're so deep into a deficit?
I have. If I did feel super hungry though, because you get taught to just kind of like you have to coach yourself to kind of like ignore hunger cues. That's bad. I'll talk about that later on. But uh, once you get into powerlifting and you ignore hunger cues, that's not good.
Yeah.
Um, but I lived around the corner from McDonald's. So whenever I was craving something, I would go get a Coke Zero.
Oh, really? Okay.
I did. But yeah, bodybuilding, it taught me a lot about myself. I'm like, yeah, if I could do this, I could do any damn thing else. But um, I did well when I did bodybuilding. I placed second in novice and third in overall.
Hmm.
I was like, I want a pro card and this, and this. And I was like, you know what? I got an injury, a back injury. And I was like, you know what? I'm done. I want to go to powerlifting now. So, and then I told Chris, I'm like, all right, I would like to do my first powerlifting meet. So we did it. I did my first two powerlifting meets were 8 weeks apart.
What in the world?
I didn't know what I was doing. Okay, I had no idea what I was doing. I was in Ohio. That was my first meet, and my friends all came out and supported. And then 8 weeks later, I competed in Plainfield, Indiana.
Which one did you do better? And I assume the first.
I think it was the first, but if you go back and look at my technique and stuff, oh
Yeah, it's. I would go back and look at my first 2 or 3 meets. It's like that's why I tell
yeah,
lifters to just sign up because you're not gonna be in the way you look 5 meets down the road is gonna be totally different. You're gonna look
yes,
silly
yes,
regardless.
yes. Like some of my meets, I went what 7 for 9. I think one I was like 6 for 9.
I went 4 for 9 in my first,
Listen,
and yeah.
I've blacked out at a meet or two, like doing deadlifts. Yeah. So,
So, going after your first meet, were you like, did you fall in love with it? Were you committed after that, or
oh, for sure.
okay?
8 weeks later, it's crazy to compete.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless you're doing like Sheffield or something, or you know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
something
like,
like that. But and yeah, I didn't know what I was doing. I
mm-hmm.
bought freaking knee wraps, not knee sleeves at first. I'm not a wrapped lifter at all.
Yeah, my knee sleeves actually weren't approved for the USPA, which in the USPA they don't let every brand in, and mine still weren't. So that's how you know I was just
That's where I started was USPA. That was my first meets.
saying.
Those are my first meets, and then we had WRPF and now PLU, and I'm taking a dive in USAPL.
When did you start to really gain momentum in your like lifts, as in like consistently high 300 squat, 100 kilo ish bench, consistently, 190 deadlift ish. Like when did you get to kind of your beginner stages to where you are now?
Well, my first several meets, I had a different coach, so we I went from a completely different style of training then, and then when I switched to Melissa, it was a little bit different, and because she was more in person. Because my coach at the time, Chris, he was in person for a while, and then he moved to Utah and things like that, and then he kept growing out there with his career and everything. I'm like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
dude, I know we're gonna have to
So
shift gears a little bit. So,
what was the difference in purely programming?
who? So I thought I have volume now, but I had a lot more volume like back. Like I had 7 sets of 5, 5x7, 10x2, like.
At a,
But it got me strong,
mm-hmm.
like it did. And honestly, before that though,
That's what I meant to ask. Were you doing like conjugate stuff? Because I seen you change. You doing
that was with
chains.
Travis.
Okay.
That's why I said Travis will have me doing some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But
Okay. I could tell Travis got into conjugate in like West Side a little bit because you were definitely doing 10x2s and chains and.
well, the 10x2s came from Chris. The chains were just Travis.
Mm-hmm.
So once I did bodybuilding, and then I'm like, well, I want to go powerlifting. It was still all Chris. So
Yeah.
but yeah, there was one. You really went digging. The chains. The chains are different, but yeah. Yeah. And then once we shifted with Melissa, it was because she was, in person, so she saw even more things and she was I remember the first time she saw me bench, she was like, you're losing tension, like you're not staying tight. And I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? But and then after that, that's where we just started seeing an uptick. Because at one point it started to feel like I was stagnant on squat, stagnant on bench, deadlift going up a little bit, but we all knew when the shift needed to happen
Mm-hmm.
because just life had other plans for all of us. So,
How was run me through PLU Nationals?
Ooh,
So I know that was a good experience for you.
PLU Nats was phenomenal. Um, it was my first. That was my first time stepping on a platform that big. I
Hmm.
never even been to a national level meet like any of that. I remember before leaving the room, I was joking with Melissa, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be doing this, and I'm being goofy. She was like, no, you're not. It was like, soon as that door shut, my everything switched.
Hmm.
It was like, all right, this is really about to happen. Like, you about to get on one of the biggest platforms you stepped on, and you're just about to leave it all there. Now, as a competitor, it's just natural. Natural. I'm sure I'm not the only one, but I like to know who I'm stepping in the room with.
Yeah.
And I already knew who I was stepping in the room with, so I knew that I was gonna have to
Were y'all close?
work.
Were y'all close?
Uh, Talking about on the day,
Yeah.
or
Like, was it a battle?
there were, I think there was a few, but I just knew who all I was stepping in the room with, and I'm just like, all right, here we go. Especially when I know like somebody is a what they call a deadlift specialist.
Hmm. Yeah.
I don't use those terms, but
I
I
just
know what they
I
are.
think that term is kind of disrespectful because that's just saying you're bad at the other lifts. It's just like, oh,
Yeah,
you're a deadlift
like,
specialist. Like, does that mean I suck at squat and bench?
and see, like, I won't even like, I don't know. I just know that I have T Rex arms. Okay, so, but overall, though, I know great athletes, and so I just still like know who you're in the room with. I do my own research, although they say it's your coach's job. I'm like, no, I want to know who I'm in the room with.
Hmm.
I like friendly competition.
I'm the same way. I'll follow you on Instagram before we compete together. All that.
Yes, yes, and we're friends. Like now, like no,
Yeah.
make me work like that. A lot of people don't like to say that, or their ego might be too big. Mine's isn't.
Yeah.
I know I'm not the strongest in the room all the time, and that's okay.
Yeah. People act like you can't be competition unless you're in the top 1%. Like, we're all competing, regardless of what meet we're at.
Yes, exactly. And so, I had my headphones in, like locked in. Whatever Melissa told me to do, it was you know when it's time for me to go, it's time for me to go. I don't want to hear the weight now. When I heard the deadlift weight, I was like, okay, on my third attempt.
Hmm.
So 446 it is. We about to do this. And then I paused it, of course. But we have practiced that. Yes, if you go back and look at my freaking deadlift, I paused it right at the knees. I'm like,
And it didn't
don't
dip.
drop it. Nope. It just
Because
paused.
that's rare that it pauses and doesn't dip.
No, I know, but we had already been practicing this in prep because we'd seen it a few times in prep.
Hmm.
So I was ready for it.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Like I had the worst cramp in my right butt cheek. And I'm like, Dustin, please give me the down command. Give me the down command. And but yeah, we went 9 for 9 that day. I had a 500 total that day. So that was pretty wild.
Yeah. When I heard 500 kilos, I was like, dang, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. That was crazy. And I used to be all about, somebody told me this early in powerlifting. They're like, you're not gonna care about going 9 for 9 and things like that. And after being at that level of an event, I'm like, whatever I need to do to secure the W. Like the opportunity is there, let's do what we have to secure it.
Hmm.
And so if I don't go 9 for 9, okay, like it doesn't bother me anymore.
Yeah.
I'm okay if like if we can go 9 for 9, sure, let's aim for it. But if a 7 for 9 or an 8 for 9 secure the W, if I have the chance to do that,
Oh, I'm taking it every single time.
yes, yes. So I don't know. It's just, and then building my total like is more so like that's my goal now. It's not 9 for 9 anymore, or that I have to have a medal when I leave off the platform.
Yeah.
It's like no. Sometimes just showing up is hard,
Hmm.
especially when life be lifing. Sometimes just showing up is the W.
Yeah. Especially when we're in a sport where 90% of us aren't getting paid to go across the country. We got
Right.
we got things going on. As soon as we get back home, we're right back to work. It's like that. I don't want to say I like the sport because there's not a lot of money in it, but it's like track. You know what I'm saying? Like they love that sport because they're not getting paid millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So it really, when I see people who are grinding every single day, like me and you, we're not necessarily at the top, but we love this. I look at you guys and I'm like, I see a certain amount of respect because I know what it takes.
Yeah. Yeah. It takes a lot. It's a lot,
So
but
Circle
we love
City,
it.
uh,
Yes.
you knew you owned Aaron a while, honestly, obviously before you got hired there. You get that offer. What did you think when they reached out to you about it? How'd you guys go from there?
So I remember sitting in my living room and I got a text from Erin and she was like, "So, do you have a chance to like hop on a call or something?" I'm just like, "Yes." I'm like, "Did I do something? Did something happen?" And then they had me, I think we were on FaceTime. I think we were on FaceTime. And they were like, "How would you like to be a part of Circle City?" I'm like, "Y'all know I'm there to do." She's like, "No, you as the trainer. We want you. We already had this set in the back of our mind anyways." And like, they don't know this, but I cried like a baby when I got off of that call
Hmm.
because it was just gratitude.
But that's why I mentioned you on the last podcast I had with them, because I told them you were the only reason I signed up. And a lot of gyms don't have that asset at the front desk. They have someone at the front desk who they're there to do guest passes and line them in. But when I came into the gym, I didn't want to pay $70 a month or whatever it is. I was paying 20, 30. I wanted to go to a niche gym and see something. And the conversation I had with you, the super genuine conversation, that was the reason I signed up. So I wanted to tell them, I'm like, it's powerful that you have Tracy there, because she's bringing in a lot of people and keeping people there. So that's
Oh,
so good.
thank you. Yeah, I'm very grateful for them. They blessed me with a great opportunity. And like, even when I got into like refing and stuff, it was Joey and another friend that were like, "I think you should consider, becoming a ref and this and this. Any questions?" Joey's always been like that before, like where our relationship is now. He was always kind, always genuine, always willing to like help and whatever else. It's not, "Oh, I've been in the sport longer," and like it was never a know it all or talk down to you. It was always like lifting me up and like encouraging me to do other things. Like
Mm-hmm.
even still, like recently, like um we were having a conversation and he mentioned, he was like, "All right, I know it's been a lot recently with life, but I think it's time, like maybe you consider, like think about," I like Melissa too, but me and Joey as friends, he's like, "I think if we shift your mind somewhere else to like focus on a goal for you to be working towards, I think that'll help your mindset a little bit."
Like now?
Yeah, recently.
Okay.
Um, because I hadn't competed at all year
Mm-hmm.
until like a month ago. But it was just the encouragement behind it. Like, look, as a friend, I'm saying like, I know where you've been, but I know what you love. Let's get you locked into what you love. So
Mm-hmm.
I just appreciate the conversation.
So, powerlifting coaching, how did you get into that? And how did you find what would you say your niche is, like in terms of clientele?
Um, well, definitely shifted to powerlifting for sure. But before, I would say I didn't have a niche. I just worked with everybody. Like when I became a personal trainer, and I know you mentioned powerlifting coach, like a coach now, but initially when I became a personal trainer, I worked with everybody because everybody has to start somewhere. If you're just working with a healthy group of individuals, what do they need you for?
Yeah.
And so, me doing that helped me. It's helped a lot with powerlifting to like rehabbing if there's any injuries and things like that, because a lot of personal training, like it's a lot of working through some injuries and ailments that as a personal trainer, where people
Yeah.
are walking, you have so many different walks of life coming in through the door. So it's like, all
Yeah.
right,
Over here researching things about elbows and knees and
yes,
things I never thought I would be trying to research and figure out.
yeah, I've had clients come to me that had rotator cuff surgery that got better results with me than they did their PT. Like, and like she was able to play ball again and like just little things like that. And it's transferred over into powerlifting coaching. But I would definitely say shifting towards powerlifting has been my niche for
Okay.
sure.
So, how's the coaching now? What are your goals kind of in coaching? I know you do nutrition too, right?
I do. I actually stopped offering it as a solo service and it's now an add on or it's bundled if it's in person.
Yeah.
Just because it's a lot more time consuming and I want people to really be committed to that process
Mm-hmm.
because nutrition is the hard part.
So, in what way is it a lot more time? Because I've never talked to a nutrition coach, never heard anyone talk about. So, to me, it's not just giving them macros.
No, It's not like not the way I like to coach
Yeah.
because I also coach the behavioral side of things. If we're not addressing your behaviors, like externals and things like that, how are we going to get you to where you want to be? And so like for me, like I need to see what your trend is like Monday through Friday,
Mm-hmm.
and then on the weekend. And typically, just like if you're working in a gym setting, it's Monday through Friday. It's we go hard, and then the weekends, Friday through Sunday, we party, and then it's a vicious cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's getting them to acknowledge like their behaviors and stuff to do their like simply doing a check-in is not hard if I map it out for you.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes as a coach it can get frustrating.
Do you know when nutrition clients are lying?
Yes.
Okay.
I feel like nutrition clients, powerlifting clients, personal training, yes. I feel like with parents, like they know when their kids are lying. As a coach or a trainer, you know when they're lying.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's certain little, and I'm very detail oriented. Like I pay attention to everything. I just sit back and chill. But and then sometimes if I have people around that have eyes, I have eyes everywhere. Is what I like to say too.
Mm-hmm.
So like if a client doesn't think that I know something, most likely if I'm asking them something, it's because I already know.
Mm-hmm.
Just like a parent, like again with their kids, it's like, did you do X, Y, and Z, or how was this? It's because they already know. They're just going to see if they're going to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
But I always, if I've come across that, I've gotten a lot better at, um, I won't say confrontation, but addressing those situations head on. Because when you address it, then it's like acknowledging, like, this isn't the behaviors that I'm cool with. Like, and if you want me to help you get here, we have to have this open line of communication of trust and transparency.
Yeah.
But it has to go both ways because there are some clients that may have had coaches before and they come from a bad coach client relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I've had one or two with that had to do that, and we had to
Yeah. Because
work that out over the years.
nutrition is a lot of mental health.
It
Like,
is.
because overeating can be emotional. It can be just because you were hungry. You know what I'm saying? There
Yep.
can be so many clues to it. I follow this podcast called Pro Physique Code, and I don't even know why I like it. Well, they're cool people, but they only talk about bodybuilding. But I like it because they talk about a lot of things about food and relationships with food, and just how people can get in over their head on it a lot. And yeah, so
I think, excuse me, that is great because they do correlate. And then I think the process of, first off, I think we should be eating healthy anyway. So the fact that it's like, oh, you're eating healthy or healthy eating is like almost demonized.
mm-hmm.
It's like, no, we should be eating like this anyways. Like
Yeah.
this is normal eating for us. Like our ancestors were eating like this.
Yeah.
So, um, but I think the process is also, it has too much thought put into it, or something. I feel like people feel like they watch a lot of social media. Social media has so much influence, and it's like, oh, like it has to be perfect, or
Mm.
it's like, no, you don't have to do all those things.
Mm. Do you ever see those what I eat in a day as a fat girl trying to lose weight? What I eat in
Yes,
a day as a
yes,
I think those
yes.
are some of them are really good, but some of those videos are so detrimental, especially and a lot of them when you see you ever see bodybuilders on prep and all the comments are, "Oh, you have an eating disorder. Oh, are
Yes,
you
yes.
okay? Or you why are you that lean?" And I'm like, "This is literally the sport."
It is, and it's for a short period of time. And even with that, because I know that side of it too. Like if you have a great coach, they're gonna they're gonna coach you the way you're supposed to be coached. They're gonna like that's the whole part of it is the nutrition. Your hormones and everything are being impacted. Like cortisol, like everything is like a hot mess.
Mhm.
But I think the huge thing that they don't see too is like after that is the reverse dieting. There have been so many people that don't get a proper reverse diet after a bodybuilding show when
Oh,
it's
they could just go ham.
yes.
They
And
just
they
go
put on
ham.
like it's crazy and then
The cookie videos, the ice cream cake videos after the stage. I'm like, 'cause I've heard bodybuilders talk about this where you should just kind of ease your way.
correct. Yeah, that reverse diet. I remember I did an interview before I competed where I did bodybuilding. I'm like, I'm gonna have Kilroy's, I'm gonna have these wings and blah blah blah. I got through a few bites at Applebee's with my family and almost threw up. And I was like, I don't want any of this.
Your body's like, what is this crap?
Yes. No, but for real, like instant rejection. I'm just like,
And that's how you know that food is terrible.
yes. Yes. Your body will tell you so fast. Our bodies tell us so much. It's a matter of if we listen to it or not.
Yeah.
Like even like reactions to different environments or people. Like your body's telling you something.
I'm gonna play a game now.
Play a game?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Let's play. I couldn't think. Okay, a lot of podcasts play this game, but I'm just gonna copy it because I couldn't think of anything else. But I just want to play overrated, underrated. So
Overrated, underrated? Okay.
I'll say something, and it's more fitness stuff. I'll say something, and then you just tell me what you feel about it. Tell me if it's overrated or underrated. Simple. Weighing yourself every day.
Overrated.
Why?
Because it's just a number. Your body is made up of water, muscle, fat, things like that. It's not the end all be all. It is a tool to measure progress, but it's not the only way to measure progress. And it does not define you as a person or your value or your worth.
What do you recommend to somebody who they're not in the headspace to step on the scale every day, but they want to track? Like, what would you recommend?
Well, I've had a client that didn't do numbers at all. So we didn't. So we tracked like habits. So if numbers or something are triggering for you, don't do numbers. What is something that you got to the gym this many times a week? Okay, cool. You got this many, well, I won't even say steps. I mean, because it's still numbers, but it's still a habit. You're in the habit of showing up for yourself. Um, there's so many different tools that I have because I've had so many different clients. Um, what else? Because I wouldn't even say measurements either because measurements freak people out.
Yeah.
If they're doing them themselves. If you do them in, yeah. But
would you say like once a week would be all right? Maybe
weighing themselves?
Yeah.
No. Because depending on when they weigh themselves, like
yeah,
let's say they eat, let's say Friday is that day they weigh themselves and they hit their lowest weigh in Thursday morning. Then they eat dinner and then they get up and weigh themselves Friday night and then the scale jumps back up and they're like, oh my God, it's happened a lot.
Yeah.
So the scale, I just sometimes want to break. Because
yeah.
it gets, especially in ladies, but it's bad in men too. They just don't talk about it as much.
Yeah. Yeah. My body weight fluctuates so much, like from about 177 to like 183. But
Yes.
I don't think about it as in like the losing weight mindset. So it's not really in my head. But yeah, like if I check my weight at the end of the day, I'm like 184.
Yes.
But when I wake up, I'm 179.
Yes.
So I could see how that could get in a lot of people's heads.
The best way to technically go, I would say the more ideal way, I won't say best, but if you weigh yourself every day and then take that overall average, it'll show you like what your date like drop is for the week. So it's like this many days, because I did it during bodybuilding, but I've done it after bodybuilding. But yeah, I've had a lot of scale conversations lately.
All right, since we're on the topic, tracking macros.
Underrated.
Okay.
I would say it's underrated.
Why's that?
I feel like it's kind of 50-50. Depending on I feel like it's more individual.
It
but I
definitely
would
depends
say
where you're at. Yeah.
Yes. I would say it's probably more so underrated because I mean and it depends on the goal. Because macros is what helps body recomp.
Yeah.
So carbs, proteins, fats. We can't leave out fiber because we need fiber. Fiber helps us, keeps us regular. Did you know fiber is a carbohydrate?
I'm bad about that. Yeah. No, I didn't know that. I'm
fiber
bad
is a
about
carbohydrate that we don't digest, but it helps us with digestion.
So I was tracking my macros for like over 2 years every day, and I just started doing it again like 2 or 3 weeks ago just because protein. And I'm looking at all the macros and I'm killing them. But then I go to the little micros like potassium, fiber, all that, and I'm like cholesterol, and I'm like, I'm missing those. And are those that important? You think those are?
They are. Micros are important. All those things with like the data and everything, like they're great tools, but again, it's not end all like be all. Like as long as you're getting a variety of like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, things like that, like I feel like you're in a solid spot. Because tracking isn't for everybody either. Like some people need portion control, or depending on where you are in your journey. I have a client that's really great with intuitive eating right now. We started her with macros and we followed up like last week, no, 2 weeks ago. Like, hey, how's nutrition going? She said, I'm pretty spot on. I'm hitting my protein. But you can see it in her powerlifting videos, her recomp and everything. She's doing a
Mm-hmm.
phenomenal job. She's the only client that I have right now that's doing intuitive eating.
A
She didn't
lot of
even
people
realize it
take
was a thing.
that that phrase to the extreme. They're like,
They
I just
do.
I'm intuitively eating. Like, no, you're not.
No,
You're not
no,
thinking.
no, no. Like she's very intentional about meal prep, portions, and everything. But it's like, okay, I feel hungry. I don't need to go get a burger of this. They like her and her fiance. They are well, she's doing the meal prep for them and everything. But
Yeah, I could.
she she's
Okay.
like showing me like it's like meal prep and yeah,
Yeah,
she's being very intentional.
that's how I was when I wasn't tracking too. So I guess you could say I was the same. Like I was eating meal prep and all that. I just wasn't tracking it.
Yeah, like even like weighing her stuff out, but not obsessing over the macros per se,
Mm-hmm.
because some people don't work well with that. And the way I coach is meeting people where they are. Does this work for them? Does it not? Because sometimes clients will be like, well, I want to go back to this. It did not work. You did not stay consistent. We need another approach.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you just got to be straight up real with them. Lying to clients, or I won't say coddle, but like be empathetic and, and understanding. Don't be a jerk, but also like keep it real. So, yeah. I feel like macros is like 50-50 though.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I feel like if we're talking people that are serious about like, I won't say that people that aren't serious. If recomp is seriously a focus and macros is something you can focus on, but people don't do it and they can do it.
Yeah, I think for serious lifters, it's very underrated. But if
Yes.
you're not in the headspace to do it, then it's
Yes.
just not the case.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Next one. Let me think. High volume.
High volume. Ooh. I would say that's 50-50. It just depends.
You're
It
not good at this
depends.
game.
No, I'm not. I'm not. Oh man.
No, let's play. Let's play. You can't toe the line. No more toeing the line. You gotta pick one.
That one, I'm sorry. I have to say 50-50 because,
Okay.
again, it's individual.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's so different. Some people respond well to it, some people don't. I don't think trying to push that on everybody is ideal because
Mm-hmm.
everybody doesn't respond well to all the volume.
Yeah. I think with volume, it's just as much as you can handle and still
Yeah.
progress. Because I think especially a lot of beginner powerlifters, they need volume. And a
Yes.
lot of them are trying to focus on singles and stuff, when I'll do guy examples because, yeah, I'll just do, like, they're guys and they're benching like 90 kilos, trying to get their arch high and trying to figure out that when it's like you need to be doing 5x5s and 3x8s at where you're at in your journey.
Yeah. Sorry, turn my watch off.
No, you're good.
But yeah, I I know you said one or the other, but I have to say 50-50. I know. It's not one of the options.
Okay. I actually have a question. How do your mindset on? I want to know your mindset on body image because you've your physique in bodybuilding is a lot different than it is now, and you love your physique now. At least it seems. I'm not in your head. Um, you have a good, strong physique, but it's a lot different than when you were on stage. So, how were you able to kind of deal with that and you know just living in a different whole different bodies?
So it I would say, especially after bodybuilding, it was hard. Like when my coach first gave me carbs back and it started popping, I was like, oh, or like you get once you start to see the abs go away, like people don't talk about the body dysmorphia that you have after. I don't feel like they talk about it enough after a bodybuilding show
Mm-hmm.
because it's like, oh yes, I'm this. Like that was the first time I ever seen my abs. I was like 128 pounds though. I'm not 128 pounds now,
Yeah.
but it was hard, like to see how I started to like my body started to transition and I put back on a little more body fat and stuff. And as a professional, I know where I should be and like what everything looks like, but I still was in my head about it. Um, but I definitely appreciate where I am with my physique now. Now, do I have my days? Absolutely. Like, oh, I'm a little bloated. I don't want to wear that shirt, or I'm a little I'm not gonna put those shorts on. Like, and I feel like it's not just me, like
Yeah.
just in general, but I put my body through a lot, respectively. But I love what I do, and I love where my physique is today. So,
Yeah. I feel the
but
same.
it's hard though.
Yeah.
With it was hard after bodybuilding.
I feel the same way, especially because the performance metrics help you. And your performance metrics in bodybuilding, are they the same in powerlifting, like in the off season? Did you ever have an off season? How
For
do you know you're progressing? Is it the same as powerlifting off season with the weights, with moving weights? Because you can't
not
see.
really, I feel like it's more about like the not. I mean, no. I mean, we still had programming. We still tracked our weights and stuff. Like it was still progressive overload, all that stuff. But it was a lot of hypertrophy and everything too. And it's not like powerlifting
Hmm.
for sure.
So
It's not.
what are your goals with Cut the Slack and powerlifting personally?
So powerlifting, I really would love to see worlds in Sheffield one day. So we'll see what powerlifting has in store. With Cut the Slack, I want to continue helping people. Um,
I love that. You ain't say nothing about getting more clients. You didn't say anything about making more money. You just said I wanted to help people.
I do. I want to continue helping people, and for people to continue to have a safe space, regardless to what walk. Because I get all walks of life, and when I tell you like all like different communities and things like that, they're like Tracy's the go to, or yeah. I want to continue helping people. Now, money's good because it's a little bit different from
Hmm.
a commercial gym versus on your own, but
Right.
money isn't the bigger picture.
Hmm.
But I always crack this joke, well, more so recently, that I want to be the Savage Fenty of powerlifting. And what I mean by that is Rihanna works with all types of people. Like, and she gives, like, she's helped multiple people, like, with her platform. All walks of life. It does not matter shapes, sizes, like even with apparel, like that's what I want because I do see a I do see that there's a slight um I don't know how to say this, but I see more Victoria's Secrets in powerlifting versus Savage Fenty is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
that makes sense. That's why
Yeah.
Rihanna created Savage Fenty. So, like with my brand and just empowering, like not even just women, because I work with women and men. I don't care. Whoever, where we align and we collab well, like, and the coaching relationship is there. Like, I want to see my people thrive.
Hmm.
Like, I have clients that want to go to nationals. I would like a national champion one day. Like to have my own national champion. That would be pretty bomb.
Hmm.
Like to see my clients on those platforms. Like I've already my one. So I had two goals this year. One being on a podcast. So thank you. Two, I actually did get to go to nationals, my first nationals with one of my athletes in July. So I just want to continue to do that. I want to continue to get more knowledgeable in powerlifting. Like I want to be another go to in powerlifting,
Yeah.
especially with nutrition too. Something else that I'm looking into right now is becoming board certified as a health coach and specializing in gut health and hormones because there are a lot of women that I've come across, a lot more women than men with like gut health issues and things like that. Even some of my own clients, like, and helping them to navigate those things because being board certified, that would get that I would be able to do labs and stuff. So
Do you recommend women train around their cycle?
yes,
Okay. Because I see a lot of stuff on like people will say, align your week 4 with your cycle or things like that. I'm like, is it really like that, or do you just because obviously I'm not a woman, but do you just adapt with how you feel?
Yes, I would say adapt with how you feel. That's more so of because it's not, oh, I don't need to train, or I know that there's so many different s- stories. I can't even call them studies because they're not studies if they're just saying, hey, this is my experience. It's not
Mm.
really a study.
So would you cut a client some slack? Whoa, wait. I actually didn't mean to do that. Would you cut a client some slack if they were like, I could not make it to the gym today. I'm cramping. I feel horrible.
Yes, like especially if I get to know this person and I know that's not like in their character and stuff, because I can't feel what they're feeling.
Mm-hmm.
But I what I would do is like, hey, I want you to get rest, X, Y, and Z. Like, kind of ask more questions before. Like, I don't assume. And like, I'm like, hey, if walking helps, let's walk. But again, I'm a coach that likes to meet my clients where they are.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to a woman's like cycle, like you're not in their body, so you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody is so different.
Yeah.
I still train through mine, so it's
So
it's not always fun, but we get it done. And if there's some fatigue and stuff, because I know that there's the narrative that, oh, it's not, you're not super fatigued and this and this. I'm like, what the hell are y'all on? Like, what?
fatigue is like the most cringe thing right now in fitness. It's like people.
Oh man, there's a lot of things cringe in fitness for me.
What do you what would you say to someone who was in your position before you kind of made a paradigm shift? What would you say to someone there and they never squatted or never, well, you had worked out before, but you were always thinking about fitness but you never went all in. What would you say to that person?
I would say just start asking questions. Find you somebody that you trust, or if you're not sure, or whatever you have, whoever or whatever you have access to, right? Whether you're following one of us, or if it's just an everyday, like, gym pop or whatever. If you have a local gym close to you, at least start there and start
Mm-hmm.
asking questions. Sit down for a consultation. you know just start. Don't keep putting yourself on the back burner.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would say.
A lot of people don't like those fitness consultations though. They can
They
be.
don't. And it depends on how you approach it. At my previous place of employment, I did several a week. Like,
I hated those too. I'm not gonna lie.
I did several a week. My biggest obstacle was having to place them with a different trainer, because I would say 90% of the time they wanted to stay a client of mine. And I'm like, no.
That's a good problem though.
It is, but managing a team, payroll, consultations, on top of me having my business part time at the time, competing myself, like that just, no.
Are you
I
happy
had,
you're out the corporate world?
say that again.
Are you happy that you're out the corporate world?
Absolutely. It is very different.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot that last year that I learned and experienced. Like, I knew things, but then when you have traumatic things happen, and then I'm just gonna be straight up blunt, like, people not be treated like people, that just set on it. It just confirmed what
Mm-hmm.
I've been
Yeah.
praying about.
My experience, and I'll keep this quick, but I felt like I said, I won't say the place I worked at. I felt like everyone, didn't love fitness. It was just numbers. How many calls are you making? How many people are you? How many fitness consultations are you booking? And at a certain point, we have like 3 meetings a week,
Yep.
which is corporate. I don't even know what they didn't even say much in the meetings. Anyways,
A bunch of nothing.
none of them talk about lifting. None of them talk about. I'm like, do y'all even lift weights? Who is passionate about fitness? Because if someone's passionate about fitness here, this could be huge.
Yes.
And I feel like that's what a lot of corporate gyms are missing is they're worried about numbers, and they're not hiring the right personal trainers too. They're just hiring personal trainers that want to make money, but you can't get good at personal training if you just want to make money because the corporate setting, like you said, you started out with only hustle.
Yes. And that's all, like, and me and my friend Sable, like, we talk about that all the time. Like, we straight up hustled even once we transitioned out of, where we were before, and then 2019 when we went, elsewhere. Like, it was still a hustle then, but we had a base there.
Mm-hmm.
So the pro that I can say about that, there's a few, but the pay structure, the way they had it set up for the trainers there was better, but it still could use work.
Mm-hmm.
But I was very passionate about my team, and I always advocated for my team, regardless to what that may look like. But I'm a person of integrity, so I'm gonna say what I got to say, how I gotta say it. So either you like it or you don't. But I'm gonna be respectful though. I know how to conduct myself. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, but I 10,000% agree with you. It's all a numbers thing. It's not. It's all quantity, not quality. And people can tell when you're being fake. They can tell when you're trying to sell them something.
Mm-hmm.
They can tell when you're genuinely trying to help them.
Yeah.
And when you're in that setting and there's the pressure of call these people, did you follow with them? Why
That's
didn't
how I
they
felt
why
every
didn't they
day.
sell? Or micromanaging and hovering over your team leads to me with leadership shows that you don't trust them.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you have them in these positions if you don't trust them, even when they're a high performing club and you build all these relationships? The people in these clubs, they're the ones building the relationships. It's the
Yeah.
externals that come in.
Yeah. I think everything starts with the head trainer. And if
Yes.
you're micromanaging that person, then it's gonna make his life so much harder. Like I saw the Anytime Fitness in Bloomington grow from nothing to everything because of Zach. Yeah, you had him on the podcast. And what he did, he changed the entire culture. If someone was there telling him to make 50 phone calls a day, it's like it's not about that. It's about shaking everyone's hand and looking at them in the face and saying, calling them by their name every time they walk in the door. But
Yes.
they never told me to do that. It was just make phone calls.
Yes. And yeah, I don't like uh there's so many things I could go into that I don't like, but I know we don't have time for that. But it's I'm grateful for all the stepping stones to be where I am today. Um, but I 10,000% again agree with you. That's why my team and the leadership team that we had during that time was so successful, was so great, because we built those relationships, because we built those rapports. That's why the clients kept coming back, because they were getting results. But the results wasn't just like, oh, fat losses. It's somebody genuinely cares about me.
Hmm.
Because otherwise, people are just ripping them off. One last thing, when we're talking about people just looking at them as a number, there's people that are on my side of things right now, entrepreneur. And I've had a conversation with someone, and they were like, basically, they told me they don't care about their people. They making like 200K.
And that's crazy.
They don't care. They have no credentials whatsoever. And you have people like that just,
And then you see people like Marcellus. This man got like 70 powerlifting clients and is somehow able to work good with them all.
yes.
And it's just crazy to see
It's just,
that because you see that in a lot of markets, sales trainers,
yes.
random stuff. These people that aren't as talented, but they somehow found a way to get a lot of clients, whether it's through social media marketing or whatever it is. And there's a lot of talented trainers that just don't know how to do social media. And
There's some people that just get overlooked, or whatever the case may be. But just, I remember, like, almost like I was so angry after this conversation, because I'm like, you're training doctors and lawyer, like, and you don't care about your people. Like, how would they feel if they heard you say this?
yeah,
Like, I would never. Like, I'm very grateful for the clients
if I
I have,
heard
and
my coach say that,
I work my ass off, and I'm not making 200K. Like,
mhm,
that, and I've been in the industry longer than that person has
mhm.
been, and I'm like, I said, you know what, Lord, if this is what it is, then I'm gonna move with integrity. Like, I want to make sure my people taken care of. I genuinely care about helping people. That's why I've been here almost 11 years.
Yeah. One last message to the viewers. What would one thing you have to say
One thing that I would have to say,
in closing?
anything in specific, like, I don't know, like, on this journey,
Hmm.
um, if you're an entrepreneur, I would say don't quit. Don't give up when it's hard, because there will be a lot of times where it is hard, but don't quit. And Stay true and authentic to who you are, and don't let people change you. And don't yeah. Stay authentic to who you are and don't give up on your dreams.
Let's go. This was good. I'm
Yes,
happy
it
you
was
came.
great. I'm glad. Like I know we've been trying to do this for a bit, so
You were actually the first one I ever invited. It was you and then Devin, yeah. So I've been trying to do this for a while, so I'm excited.
I feel honored. I'm grateful.
Hmm.
This has been on my vision board to be on a podcast, so here we are.
Could you tell them your social medias?
So yes, Instagram, it's cut the slack underscore coaching. So cut the slack underscore coaching, and then Tracy Bree on Instagram, and then it's just Tracy Murphy on Facebook.
Alrighty. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of the Beyond the Barbell Podcast. I'm your host, Jason Lassic, and I'm out.